When we bought this RV, one of the areas that needed the most work was the bathroom, and we turned it from this absolute mess with rotted walls into this really cute and attractive bathroom. And in this video today, I'm gonna be going over in detail about what we did from painting the cabinets to replacing the rotted wall, painting the shower, the skylight, and everything like that. First thing we had to replace was the skylight. As you can see, this one is a little dirty on the outside, but the other one was cracked and split, and so we had a lot of water damage coming in. And that cracked skylight led water coming down all the wall here and all the way over here, which is why this is not the same wall as it is in the rest of the RV. We had to replace all of this. And of course, we didn't find this out until after we bought it because it was just this little section up here that was wood that was a little softer. So we started to open it up and look into it. And then we found out that the shower wall actually wasn't connected to the wall at all. It just peeled right off, which is not a good sign because you don't want things just falling off in an RV. And on top of this wall, like we said, it went all the way over here. And the ceiling actually was rotted as well too, which we kind of replaced, kind of not. We'll get into that later. But so the first thing we had to do was take out the whole wall over here, here, and everything here. And I'll show up pictures right now of what it used to look like. And at first we were looking up how to replace like an RV wall that's been rotted. All we could find was how to replace like wall around a window where they rebuild it from the inside and outside, but we just wanted to rebuild the inside and there wasn't really anything on it. So we kind of made it up as we went. So we took out all of the rotting wall, everything that was water damaged. It was just this like sheet panel wood and then the styrofoam. And fun fact that we learned, styrofoam doesn't actually like hold water, so it doesn't really mold or rot or anything like that. It just gets on the surface of it from the wood. So luckily it didn't need to replace the styrofoam, so we just tore out all of the wood. Like I said, I'll show a picture here again. And then we had to dry it all out. So we took everything out, put a big blower on it, dried it out for probably a day or two. And when all the moisture came out of the wood, actually more of it than we thought wasn't rotten, which was very nice. We didn't have to replace nearly as much. And then back here in the bathroom, we just put like a regular sheet panel of wood there, and then we actually got some of this tile board here. This is just like detailing in the wood, so it's just like a cover on it that has the lines in it that looks like a tile. And even if we didn't have to replace the wall, we may have just put that in anyways because it was really cheap. The whole panel costs like maybe $10 for like a 4x8 sheet, and we simply just cut it out around the cabinet, around the shower. Then we put it on there. I think we just glued it to the wall. We didn't even put like nails in it. Which then brings me to the next point of how did we get the wall repaired and stuck in there, because there was just styrofoam there. And we got some of this like construction concrete glue things just from Menards or Home Depot. And you just put it on the back and then we pushed up, and then we had boards stringing across from this wall here all the way to this wall to keep pressure on it. And after about a day of constant pressure like that, it dried, and I don't think this wall is ever really going to come off. And once we replaced the rotted wall, we pretty much just had to put everything back in, which sounds really easy, but RVs aren't really built to take apart and put back together. So it was kind of a puzzle to get everything out of there. We had to take the cabinet out. We luckily didn't have to remove the toilet because I don't know how you would take that out and put it back in an RV. But putting the cabinet back in was about like a 2-hour endeavor by itself, which doesn't make sense because the cabinet is really small. It's like has one door on it and one cabinet drawer. And you think you could do that in like 20 minutes, and it took us a lot longer because every piece is very exact. And as you can see, we painted ours to be dark blue because we thought it would look very nice. The cabinets used to be like this original wood paneling, whatever you would call this material here. And we didn't want it to be a different color because we had that blue tile wall. We thought the blue wall with the brown wood wouldn't look as best as if we just had like dark blue painted cabinets. So we did that, and we just used regular paint. We didn't even use like wood stain or anything like that. Haven't had any issues with chipping or anything like that. It all looks pretty clean. I think we used like 2 or 3 coats actually on this. And we also painted the cabinets here. And for this, we actually just used the exact same paint that we use on the walls. The wall was wallpapered and we just painted and primed right over it, and have had no issues with this as well. And then pretty much the last big thing that we really did was the shower. So RV showers are really hard to remove and put in because this whole panel is all one piece. There's no crease, there's no way it can come apart. So like we said earlier, it just kind of fell off the wall. We didn't have any issues getting it out. Well, we didn't have any issues getting it off the wall. We had a major issue getting it out of this door because, as you can see, it's not nearly as wide as the average door is. But we managed to do that, and then we actually ended up staining this. You can get a acrylic stain painter or something like that. I'll link it below, the one we used from Menards. It was like $40 and we got about 2 coats out of it. We actually had to use 3 coats, maybe 4 coats, but either way we had to get 2 packs of it. So it was about $100 to do this, which is a little expensive, but much cheaper than if you were to get your own panel replaced or to put tile or something in here. Originally, we were discussing about putting tile in here, but we didn't want to put tile because we learned that actually it can crack with the RV shaking, everything like that, and fall apart, which would not be cool. And in an RV, weight is kind of everything. So that if we added a couple 100 pounds of tiles, our gas efficiency would be low and it would end up costing us a lot more money. For one, from buying the tile, and two, for the gas mileage. And then the very last piece was putting in this kitchen board. It's like a waterproof white plastic material. We painted that the same color as this right here, and that we just cut around and put on the ceiling and on here, because our ceiling was actually carpeted like it is here, but we didn't think that made any sense being in a shower with all of the moisture coming up into it. So we put in that kitchen board, caulked around it, cleaned it up, painted up little touch-up spots like that. I think that's pretty much everything we did for the bathroom. And that paint that we also used for the shower here, we actually used it for the sink as well. So the sink matches the shower exactly with the same color. And then the absolute last piece that we did was actually the floor, and we just continue that right in. It was really hard getting this piece in from here to here, so we just decided to take it perpendicular to where the rest of the floor was laying, and we have a rug that goes in there anyways and covers it up, so not really that big of a deal. Well, that was officially everything we did for renovating our bathroom. And if you want like a guide on how to do it, we kind of just made it up as we went, which is pretty much how it has to go with renovating RVs, because everything is built so oddly specific to whatever RV you have. If we had to go back and redo it, a few things we probably would change would just be like having different tools, maybe a little easier to get in. We had like a drill and stuff, but it was too big to undo some of the cabinets. So we had like really weird angles to get in and out of it. Another thing is that if you don't have to replace the wall behind your shower, you can just repaint the shower. You can do it while it's in, and it would be a lot easier, because when we pulled out that shower liner, we cracked it a little bit, but we put some Flex Seal and a Turnabond on the other side to keep it like waterproof tight, and we haven't had any issues with water leaks. But I think that's just about it. And honestly, it's probably one of the nicest bathrooms we've actually had at any place we've lived. It is really small and a little small for like your average bathroom, but for an RV, works great for us. We do use the shower, we use the bathroom all the time, and we can't be any happier with how it turned out. Well, that's everything that we're gonna be covering on the bathroom renovation. If you have any questions on how we did anything in specific, be sure to let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to respond to all of them. Otherwise, I'll link all the tools and anything that I think may be useful to you in your renovation in the description as well. And make sure you subscribe and like to see more videos like this on how to renovate or just general RV tips.